Hello and welcome to FatBossTV. Alex here, and today we're having a look at how you get the Retribution Paladin artifact weapon Ashbringer on the Legion Alpha. Now before we kick into it, spoiler warning, you are getting the Ashbringer. Things are going to get pretty heavy lore-wise, so just bear that in mind. Right, let's get on with it. This quest chain starts when Lord Maxwell Tyrosus appears from the shadows, exclaiming he urgently needs to speak to you. He tells us that the Burning Legion devastated us at the Broken Shore, and that we need weapons capable of destroying Sargeras. He tells you to go meet him at the Flight Master, where he has assembled all the greatest paladins in the world to rescue High Lord Tyrion. So just as a quick note, even though we haven't seen the Broken Shore scenario just yet, it's safe to say that shit went pretty bad and Tyrion got captured. You go to Crassus's landing and speak to him again. He tells you that you need to go get some sexy weapons and we get to choose which one. So similar to Survival Hunter, you choose the one that you want, and as we're looking at Ret Paladin today, we've picked the Ashbringer. He tells you that you are going to go to the Broken Shore to go and get the Ashbringer. So you jump on a hippogriff and you are off. You arrive at the Broken Shore to a scene of fell fire, demons and a whole host of other horrible shit. Lord Maxwell gives an inspiring speech telling us of how our families will remember us on this day and all that good stuff. He then proclaims that
we move on our champion's command.
So it is your job to start the war. It is your job to begin the most mighty of battles, the battle between the Light of Azeroth versus the evil Legion of the Twisting Nether. The most monumental fight in the history of the lands is about to begin, and it is your job to begin this war, to lead your men into battle. It is time to rally the troops. People across the land will sing songs of this day for generations. The day where just a few paladins of the Silver Hand stood against the full might of the Legion. Quickly, use your Argent Warhorn to rally the troops and begin your charge. Oh, hold on. Try again? Just try, right. Okay, well, fuck it, just go hit one of them. Just, there we go. Okay, charge! Good job, everyone. So after you take out a few waves of the demon forces, losing some nameless allies in the process, a big commander demon guy called Jailer Xerus calls in a couple of infernals that pretty much kill off everybody, demons and paladins alike. Maxwell survives, of course, as he is fully voice acted and actually has a name. After taking out the infernals, the jailer calls for everyone to call back and to burn the path behind them so he can finish dealing with his guest. Maxwell tells you to go on ahead to find Tyrion and kick some ass. So off you run through the fire and flames, killing some inquisitors along the way who are torturing people, whilst the jailer is telling you how taxing it was trying to destroy Tyrion's soul, but he is almost finished. Tyrion shouts out that he will never surrender as you jump into combat with the jailer. Now the jailer himself doesn't do much, but at 50% he goes over to a fell pool and starts summoning things from a portal. It takes him ages to actually start summoning anything, and he only summoned one inquisitor before randomly exploding at 20% HP. So, yeah. I don't think he's working particularly well. It's alpha, we expect this kind of stuff. After this, you run to Tyrion's side, and he tells you that you must go and get the Ashbringer, and you should leave him behind. So you leave him to rot on the ground so you can go get some epic loot. After going through a cave with some weak demon mobs, someone familiar speaks to you. Yes, that's right. It's Balnazar. Okay, I didn't know who this was either. I had to look it up, so here's a really quick history lesson. Balnazar made his first appearance in Warcraft 3, where he, together with other Dreadlords, worked for the Legion. Their plans of invading Azeroth failed as Arthas and the Lich King betrayed them, but Balnazar wasn't done quite just yet. He manipulated events that would eventually turn the Holy Blade Ashbringer into its corrupted form, as well as turning its wielder, Alexandros Morgraine, into a Death Knight of the Scourge. Alexandros' son, Darion, sacrificed his own life to save his father's soul, but in return he is now placed in position of leading the Death Knights and wielding the corrupted blade. As we can see during the Death Knight starting area, Darion and the Death Knights are deflected from the Lich King, and Tyrion Fordrin obtained the blade, cleansing it to its holy state, and then he used it to bring down the Lich King. Balnazar was taken on by heroes several times within Stratholme, but Dreadlords cannot die on Azeroth, so he once again plans to turn the Ashbringer against his enemies, and this is what we can see happen in the artifact questline. Thank you, Noble. We then go downstairs and pick up the Ashbringer. After a fancy cutscene where we're wielding the blade and the camera clips through the floor a little bit, Balnazar appears and it's time to fight. Now, although he has loads of cool looking abilities where he's flying about from place to place, spawning clouds, spawning portals in which ads come flooding through, he dies pretty quick. Like, I don't have the greatest gear on Alpha, it's around 680 item level, and I am definitely not the greatest rep paladin by any means, so he still died before I really got to see everything, so maybe increasing his health pool a tad would be nice, so you can actually see all his abilities for a little bit longer. After finishing him off, Lord Maxwell appears at the top of the stairs and tells you must go back to Tyrion, and that he doesn't have long left in the world, and that he called for you by name. So you rush back out the cave to find Tyrion standing up, and then very quickly laying down as soon as he sees that you're there. He is surrounded by paladins and the holy light, whilst barely holding on with 1% HP. He asks you to go closer, and then he tells you that you must use your blade to stop the Legion, and that you must become the Ashbringer. He then dies with a big old halo and his soul flying off into the sky. Maxwell then tells you need to go bury him in Light's Hope Chapel amongst all the other ancient heroes of the light. You then mount a hippogriff and return to Dalaran. When you land, Maxwell lets you know that Tyrion would be proud of you, and that you need to go and bury him, so get your ass to Light's Hope Chapel. The game then gives you a quest where it gives you suggestions on how to get there. It tells you to go to the center of Dalaran to take a portal, and then fly from the portal location to the actual chapel. So I went to the center of Dalaran to teleport to the portals, and when I arrived in the portrait room, which is very clearly unfinished yet, but it still has the promise of looking pretty cool, a Kirin summoner kindly let me know that they had a portal ready for me to go to Undercity and that I should follow him. So I did follow him as he ran off, and he walked through a wall. I do realise it's alpha, but I didn't realise that the portal was on platform 9 3/4, Mr. fucking Potter. I never did find him again, but I did find the portal to Dalaran Crater that nearly killed me, and then I flew off to Light's Hope Chapel to find a hidden door that would lead me to the secret Light's Hope Sanctum. After about 6 weeks, I found it in the floor of the chapel and went downstairs and entered the Paladin class halls, which look absolutely amazing. As you walk down the middle to go meet Maxwell, people kneel as you go, as you now hold this Ashbringer, which is a nice touch, and it's a really cool throwback to getting the corrupted Ashbringer and walking through Scarlet Monastery. Maxwell then tells you now that Tyrion is dead, they need a new leader, and you are the perfect man for the job. You then walk down towards the main altar whilst Maxwell gives a big old 2-line long speech about how cool Tyrion was. How kind of him, all those words. You then immediately inscribe your name into the Libram of the Ancient Kings, and then that's it. You are now High Lord of the Silver Hand. Maxwell tells a crowd of mourning paladins that are attending the funeral of the last High Lord that you're the new one now. What a perfect time to do it. And that we need to all stand together to fight the Legion. The very sad crowd of paladins then starts jumping up and down and cheering. Like, I'm sorry, but didn't one of the biggest badasses of paladins, you know, the guy who helped defeat the Lich King and a whole other manner of honourable, cool shit, just die? Like, and now everyone's jumping around happy? You might as well be dancing on his grave, you horrible bastards. Maxwell then tells you to go enhance the Ashbringer on the altar. Using the altar brings up the artifact UI where you are able to see the talents and unlock them using artifact power. You can also see Ashbringer above the altar, but you cannot change its appearance just yet, either because it's not fully implemented yet, or you just need to unlock the appearance changes with the achievements or some other way. And then that's it. You upgrade your weapon, and you are now the proud owner of the legendary Ashbringer. Okay, so this quest chain wasn't half bad, although I did joke about some of the things being a little janky, and you should totally expect that when it's in such early alpha, but all of the environments are looking super awesome, and it actually plays out really, really well and super smoothly, so I'm surprised how finished it is. The whole leading the Silver Hand into battle against the Legion on the Broken Shores part was really awesome. Getting to defend Tyrion by fighting a giant evil jailer, and then going on to fight and defeat Balnazar was really, really cool. The only thing I didn't like was how Tyrion died. Like, fair enough, characters need to die, and I don't expect every character in World of Warcraft just to ank or be res like, oh, JK, I'm alright now, because then nothing would happen at all, ever, because everyone would just run back to their corpse. It's fine that they killed off Tyrion, I'm okay with that. It's just how everyone reacted, or more like how they didn't react. Like, people were sad for like 5 seconds, and then like immediately after his funeral, they were like, oh, by the way, look, we've got a brand new High Lord now. Everyone, let's cheer and jump around. And it's just like, he's just dead. You just buried him, and no one gives a fuck anymore. So it's a little bit weird, but I kind of do get it. And it doesn't bother me that much, but I just thought it was a little bit odd. That minor gripe aside, the only other thing I could complain about is that they don't really give you an opportunity to use class-specific mechanics very often. They do a good job of throwing small packs of enemies at you to AoE down with like Divine Storm, or like a big enemies that you want to use your more hard-hitting single target abilities on, which is quite nice, but nothing where you can make the choice to use an ability in your toolkit to conquer a challenge more easily. Like as an example, if you've seen the Survival Hunter quest chain video we put up a couple of days ago where you have to use traps and flares to help you out in certain situations, or you can just do it without and it's slightly harder, maybe adding in something like that where you can use some Ret Paladin specific mechanics might make it a little bit more special. But overall, the thing is very, very good. They just need to, like, of course, tie it up a little bit, and it is in early alpha. Like, they need to increase the health of some mobs. They need to make it so some of the bosses actually do abilities, and they need to phase that whole bit where you're getting crowned as the High Lord, because it feels very, very weird when you're like, this is the new High Lord, and there's like 6 other paladins about all wielding the Ashbringer. Feels a bit weird. So maybe even just for that bit they could phase it. But yeah, early alpha, I'm sure they'll sort it all out. Overall, it was really fun to do. But thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like and share it with your friends, and subscribe to see more Legion content coming up on the channel over the coming weeks. Thanks for watching.